Hello, everyone. James Wilson here. And as you may saw in my last video, me predicting the election based on early voting and mail-in data, I explained to you briefly on every state and why I think that was going to go this way or that way. And I know it was probably a little bit confusing to everyone. So what I'd like to do is kind of break down the numbers just a little bit more so I can give you some clarity of exactly what's going on. Because when you analyze things, you have to look at trends, you have to look at the raw data and the final outcome. You just can't look at the raw data by itself. You kind of have to compare it to historical raw data. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I did some mathematics on this, and I'm actually going to tell you, assuming that we're in a perfect world, and I know it's not exactly perfect, but I can tell you just based on the numbers that the Democrats are not doing so well in Pennsylvania. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. So in 2020, you will see that the mail-in ballot and early votes returned is 2,640,405 people. Out of that, 65% of those were Democrats, 24% Republican, and 11% independent. So how I did this mathematically was, and I know assuming is not the best, but, I just say, okay, Democrats vote Democrat, Republicans vote Republican, and independents could vote either way or maybe third party. So with that information, I kind of threw the independents out of the algorithm because it's impossible to know exactly which way they swung. And I did that for both. I did that for both 2020 and 2024. So, for example, in 2024, you have 1,473,825, 59% are Democrat, 31% Republican. So we're going to go into this data real quick, and I'm going to talk to you about some numbers here. So when you're looking at 2020 versus 2024, you will see some major differences in the numbers. And I'm going to talk to you about it, okay? So, the Pennsylvania early vote. So when you look at this, and I just want to kind of dive into this real quick here. When you're looking at 2020 versus 2024, you see that there's a huge disparity in the amount of voting. This is early vote and mail-in. I don't know if it's just mail-ins, but it's early vote and mail-in, okay? I think it's just this might just be mail-ins, but this is the numbers right here. When you actually look at the figures, you will see that on the return, 65% were Democrat, 24% were Republican in 2020. And then in 2024, it's a little bit different, 59% Democrat and 31% Republican. Now, I know it's not over yet. We still have a few days left until the election. So I know these numbers are going to change. And on Saturday, I'll do I'll do this again just based on the new data. Obviously, this data is going to stay the same, but this may change a little bit, okay? So what I did was, You had the Democrats, you had on both sections here. You had the Republicans on both sections. Now, what you see is, based on the percentages and the mathematics, is all I did was I just multiplied it by 0.65 here from 2,640,000, multiply it by 0.59. These are the numbers that I got, okay? So blue Democrat, red Republican. You see that there's less of both, but a lot less Democrats and a little bit less Republicans. And when you look at the difference in 2020, you had over 1 million votes. You had 1,082,566 versus a difference of 328,971. So you got to do the mathematics. You got to subtract this, okay? Because right now you're looking at a difference of 753,595. And that's in favor of the Republicans. It's tilting towards the Republicans because of the difference in the ledgers. So when you actually look at the 2020 voting numbers, you will see that Biden only won by 80,000 votes. And when you look at both of these numbers, you know, right now Republicans are overperforming compared to 2020. Obviously, you take the 80,000 votes out, Republicans are ahead by about 673,000 votes. So what do I mean by that is Democrats have to increase their vote share on election day by 673,000 votes. Now, obviously, early voting and mail-ins is not over yet. It is going up a little bit each day. And so I totally get that. There's ballot harvesting on both sides, actually. But if the trend continues, we have a very good shot at winning this. And this is why I put Pennsylvania in the tilt Republican column. Because at this point, we are ahead in early voting compared to last time. We're overperforming. Democrats are severely underperforming. And so Democrats would have to make up that vote share on election day. Now, the question is, could they do it? Yeah, it's possible. And that's one of the reasons why I gave it a tilt Republican instead of a lean Republican. I do think there's going to be a lot more Democrats that come out and vote on election day. I don't think it's over by any stretch of the imagination. But I just don't see, based on the numbers, I cannot give the state of Pennsylvania to the Democrats based on the statistics. Last time the Democrats just absolutely poured on those mail-ins and early voting requests, and Biden barely won. It was a 1.2% win, 80,000 votes. And, you know, I'm just hoping that we need to show up on election day. That's what it's going to come down to, us showing up on election day, because I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, you know, this is why I gave it a tilt Republican, like a 1 point lead for Trump. Actually, no, I gave it about a 0.5 point lead for Trump. I just don't know at this point. It's looking good. I just don't want to get overconfident. But anyways, let me know what you think about this video. Like and subscribe to my channel. Any questions, comments would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.